SRG are one game win away from sending Malaysia to their first ever M Series Grand Finals. We go into Flying Cloud, and I'm sure that's going to change the picture of the draft, and this might end up becoming longer games as teams in the M7 World Championship want to play a little bit more cautiously and a little bit more aware with the risks of being overly aggressive with Flying Clouds active. Aurora still in the blue side, still the same bans.
Feels like Aurora's just happy that it's like not dangerous grass anymore. There's just a couple of things that you don't have to worry about, but they still need to get rid of this hill though, because let me tell you, that Yums was really frustrating, right? Every little mistake you make, Yums, it amplifies it unnecessarily from Aurora's POV, but that allows SRG to have more time to rotate, more time to steal away caps from Demon Kite.
So then now, is it worth it to go for the ultimate risk? If you say that Yums is one of the more annoying pieces of the SRG lineup to deal with, do you just take his Cho away?
I mean, I don't know. Give him his Cho. We'll play Kalia again, right? We want to replicate game one.
I think it would be valid to give away the Cho if you're playing utility. Because that gives him what? Less targets, less valid targets at that. So for Aurora, I wouldn't say taking the Cho away by picking it now, because you still have that Eve.
Yep.
But are they going to die on that hill? That's the question. Is it worth it to go again? Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Wait, we're past that. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's happened already.
Aurora might even be willing to give the Eve Kalia because Aurora played an Eve Kalia and they struggled with it.
Oh,
they go for the Yu Zhong.
It's time. Edward wants to put his stamp on that world stage.
It's been a while since we've seen a first pick Yu Zhong.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find the thread. This is 5D chess.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to when I think it was literally Swiss Stage Day 5. It was Team Liquid PH versus Yangon Galactico. No. A little bit sooner. We saw it in the knockouts. Yeah, Aurora Gaming PH versus Team Liquid PH. Okay. So they go Cho. As expected, Yums will end up with it. The last time Aurora Gaming PH first picked the Yu Zhong, they went Cho Kimmy to pair up with it.
Would I be okay with that? Because at the end of the day, right, when you see Yishin Shin on the opposite side, especially from SRG, how do we deal with it? A lot of it just boils down to taking away his farm, really accentuating the fact that you need a lot of economy to make this work. And now that Aurora are now looking to play a utility jungler on top of this Zhong, they need to have mega support. And now their side laners are prioritized here.
Okay, good to see Aurora adjust to that. They put a Fredrin into the hands of Demon Kite. And the Granger, I think they're just going for that easily accessible early damage output. And then just seeing the coast is clear, like there's no Claude, no Freya, no Sora. Yeah. There's a CC still though.
That's what I'm concerned about, that Aurora decided to just lean in already, picking up the Granger this early on. There's so many ways now that SRG can treat this. It's their decision.
This is a tough one, because they could go like Uranus to sandbag the lane, but Eve is still wide out in the open. Their gold lane is going to get punished in the second half of the draft, I would imagine. But then CC is still open, so yeah, they just gotta lean into the gold.
Yeah, we saw earlier that Innocent handled the good laning against Granger very well with this Harith. Oh, I think SRGs are going to cook up so many responses to this Granger. That's what I'm worried about.
I know, but at the same time, it's like, why would you open with the Cho Yishin Shin, knowing, especially seeing the Yu Zhong, especially knowing that you could easily kind of pivot your composition to play it in a more earnest style, right? Go back into the Leo Mord once again. Maybe, arguably, there's even a Boxia opening for you as well. Knowing Sakai's, yes, he doesn't want to go Boxia, sure, but the Leo Mord?
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like SRG did not need to have to worry about this gold lane trade. They have to worry more about the mid lane trade. That I feel like they could have had more cards of value with if they picked up their mid laner at red 3, then just change the bans around so that it's a bit more favored for them towards the matchup.
I think they just rather win whatever comes through. They're giving Aurora the onus, the responsibility. Hey, what are you letting through in mid, or else we pick the best one that's left at red 4. But yeah, this doesn't answer the question of why the sudden priorities in the first 3.
Yeah. Well, Fandom War is up. When you type in your answer to the question of who will win the series, Aurora versus SRG, see the Selangor Red Giants fans leading the charge right now.
Yeah.
Type down your predictions for the upcoming picks that could be shown by these two.
It's tight though, literally.
Like a toiger.
That's a Malaysian national animal.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Like a Malaysian toiger.
They call it the Harimau Malaya.
Oh, okay.
I did my research. All right, one more ban here. SRG, they have to make their bed. Do we ban one mid? Do we ban one mid? Or do we just let it all out in the wild?
When I give the word.
Both light picks.
Yeah. They understand. So instead of tackling the mid laner, they tackle the roam pick. Which now with the hilt, the gun, they're going to end up playing something slower like well, the Gotcha is going to be open for them. Kalea is also still open. Hylos.
In case you really just want to find that Parrot, find that Yusun Shin, find whatever they put in mid.
I still would want Aurora to just double down on the Kalea Lunox again. It worked out for them earlier, and it worked out earlier in the day as well.
Yeah, I think it does work, but I think Coach Ark has kind of recognized the pattern here, right? Again, this is the first time that we're seeing so many light bans in the second phase. Usually they would aim it elsewhere, knowing that UA is going to be the usual secondary win condition for Aurora in the first place, right? So I think that SRG, especially for Coach Ark, you see these first 3 picks in, well, Aurora, they're looking to play comfort. Let's take away the comfort picks. We're already in our head.
Mid-range. I don't think Aurora will, at this late in the tournament, at this stage, will bring back an old combo in the Mathilda Fred. They got the speed, but it might just be too risky. They might just have to settle for something like a Gatot or Kalea.
There's the Farsa, but I think now this is where you go for Yves, right?
You gotta have that range diff fixed up. And by doing that, you put the Farsa in extra trouble. You have a Black Dragon in the skies. So if that's an Eve, what do you put in light?
Kalea Gatot.
Does it have to be Kalea?
Kalea Hylos Gatot.
In terms of the picks that we've seen, so Kimmy as expected. The Mathilda will not work here, so yeah.
Wow, Eve gets snubbed.
Yeah. They go for the high loss.
Interesting that they want to go. All right. So yes, like you mentioned before in Game 3, we were looking for bridges, right? And Kimmy did inevitably get banned in that game as well. So this time round, UA really has to do a lot of good work here. Because again, you're facing up Fars Cho in the lane itself, which is hard enough. Luckily, this time, Light can't get punished that hard on the high loss.
So the last pick here, it's going to be going to the EXP lane. What's Cram going to end up with? Usually we've seen some teams just pack up the Uranus and just go, yeah, let's just have a body to hold. But then the Kimmy, the Granger, the Yuzon, because Uranus is one of those guys that really don't care. He's like, okay, I'm just going to be here, sandbag, it's fine.
Just needs to shred, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Works as well. I like this a lot because now Fredrin is going to struggle to fight for these neutrals.
A clear go signal if the Fredrin is standing your way, that Kimmy and the Granger's positioning is compromised. Oh, we're gonna see Patrick Star wreak havoc.
As a Filipino, I'm gonna say it's gonna hurt if SRG wins this and we lose to Patrick. And to see the Malaysians go first to the grand finals, but it is a perfect pick to round it out. Real quick, Gideon, SRG or Aurora?
I think that SRG need to win their lanes. If they win the lanes, they will win the game.
This is a perfect last pick just to ruin what Aurora set up in 5 picks. I think SRG's got this. Aurora's trembling.
Will it be a caster's bless or a caster's curse? Will it be SRG sending Malaysia to their first M-Series Grand Finals? Or will Aurora force a game number 5? We are getting closer to history with Mirko and Naisu to help tell the story.
Welcome.
I would be trembling as well, going against the Patrick Star in a potentially last match here.
Oh my God,
it's
it's
him.
him. It's him.
What better way to get to the grand final for the first time for Malaysia with that skin, best skin of the game. Now Mirko.
Oh my God, Skies, no way. This is dirty. Dirty, you pick up the glue and you go level 1 invade.
Oh,
Hume's gonna go for it as well. He's gonna bait out the retribution. Demon Kite with the red tree already. They don't know it's happening. Grand Theft Orange level 1 Skies gets stunned up by light. So at least there's a bit of, oh my god.
He's able to get away.
Okay. But now what happens? Where does Demon Kite go? Because he's cooked either way. He just goes lethal. He knows he's cooked. There's no orange buff.
He knows it, so he's going to go ahead and just keep things under control, right? He's just going to go ahead and just admit, all right, I lost my orange buff. I'll let it be. Sakai's, though, great start. You know, going into Demon Kite's jungle, you can expect that. Again, this is kind of what you want to do anyway. You're the YSS, you're moving a little bit faster than the Fredrin, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So Aurora Gaming, with this kind of lineup, as we look at the emblems here, this is something similar to what we've seen in the past, right? This combination with the Fredrin and the Kimmy specifically works really great. The traction pulse, plus the amount of crowd control that this lineup has. Also, mind you, the Yuzhong first pick. The priority here for Edward could change these early skirmishes that might even break out before the first turtle. As you can see, just how much focus right now is allowing Demon Kite to get his side of the jungle after losing that orange buff.
Yeah, but Skies, this is a 3-buff start. He might be level 5 by the time the turtle spawns here. He hasn't even taken the green camps up top. Yeah, he's taking it slow. Doesn't look like they're in any rush. Domeng, wow, for 1v1 over on Innocent, but this could be the gank up top with the Mountain Shocker as well. Domeng, did he make the wrong call? It's a free kill on Skies. Almost a trade, but Innocent stands tall.
Okay, he stands tall. The fight for the turtle, they're going to go for it anyway.
What?
Whoa! Edward is slain by Stormy. Yes, they'll get the turtle for Aurora Gaming, but you lost 2 in the exchange.
Make it 3 if the purple buff counts as well. Skies with red tree, and he gets it despite it being a bit short.
What just happened? I mean, the aggression from Domeng Kite, maybe he just wanted to go for the solo kill, but then, you know, with a flicker down, by the way, he then gets caught in the lane. They make a play up top. I'm surprised at how fast Edward even went down, but that's the damage like this from Stormy.
Uh-oh, the pullback into feathered airstrike range. Edward 0-0.
Dude, Stormy is locked in. He got his Farsa. The Prodigy right now on this pick is just making it happen. 2-0 right now early on. You're scaling already in good control of the early game. SRG has everything happening across the map. Think about it. It started in the jungle with Sakai's taking the buff, continuously putting pressure on Demon Kite. You're winning the lane up top. You're winning bottom. Here we go again. Oh, Edward.
Great read on the fierce dive, but again, it's going to be the all-in onto him. 0-3 is it, Edward? Will fall again. The turret juggle is perfect from Selangor Red Giants, and they've taken the dragon out of the equation.
The Dragon, Agent Zero, Mr. Consistent, throw all the names out there. SRG is handling him. Innocent might be next.
Traction pulse, now to purify out. Glorious Pathway coming down as Innocent pops into the Mon Force, but he's going to be stunned up, and now it's going to be the Chain CC for Domeng to at least get a kill back. But look at the turret down below. SRG took it.
They had to get something, man. Aurora Gaming Philippines cannot let this continue to happen on all fronts of the map. And so at least they make a play there. They have to go ahead and kind of slow this down. The Giants literally are already coming into this game, trampling around, taking what they want, and they continue to do so. Edward's gonna have to play catch up.
Whoa.
Oh man, he's got a bottom.
Oh my goodness. Look at that Stormy.
All right.
Flickers in, what a risk taker.
He's risk-taking because he's ahead like the way he is, man. Fight for the turtle.
Cram's gonna go in. That's the way the Dragon is zoning him away, and the mount down as well from Patrick, aka Cram. It's an all-in over on Demon Kite. Big bomb on Yums. Domeng able to get the shot down. Traction pulls. Cram pulls back in, and he's gonna go down to UF.
Oh, Edward. All right, he pops the Black Dragon for him, but I don't think there's gonna be any follow-through. Just checking things out. They want to go ahead and get this extra gold off this top turret. So with that, that's a great swing back in favor of Aurora Gaming Philippines, but it's not in there entirely just yet. But that will be some crucial gold and pickups that they needed to go into the right hands here.
Gold's back to level on the board. Domeng Kite with the gold crab here. Certainly it will be, whoa, 1,000 gold lead for Domeng Kite in the gold lane.
Dude, he knows that he's going to be a big part of turning this around. Look at that early first item. Chastised Pauldron picked up now for Demon Kite. Starlium Scythe over here for Innocent.
Whoa.
And this, oh no, Yums.
Jikudo on the way to Dragon now. Over on Domeng for the airstrike coming down. The lethal ignition is taken, and Yums takes him out. That 1,000 gold lead was too much. SRG said no.
No, not today. Yums, I gotta say, man, his play-making ability throughout this series have been so good. Edward, okay, he's gonna get away. But look at this, tier 2 turret.
Oh my god.
Nearly gonna be knocked down. Actually will fall here, and Aurora will lose more crucial real estate on the map right now. This kind of lineup too needs some time to cook, but SRG's not giving them that many opportunities. Oh, Glorious Pathway just to force Stormy out of here, man. Stormy, like I said, I don't know what he had for breakfast today, but he is locked in throughout the series. And even though he's 2-0, I mean, think about how much damage he's doing. I'm not sure if we're going to get to see the damage meter just yet, but he's definitely at the top. Feathered Airstrikes are hurting. There is a Sky Piercer now locked in for Kite. Much earlier this time in this game than the last one. So we'll see if he's able to build up the stacks that he needs here.
It really is going to be all on Domeng and Yue. Because Kite with the Chastised Powder, you know exactly what's going to happen here. They're all just going to be peeling for the backliners. The thing is, though, SRG can attack from so many different angles, and your front line is going to be brought to SRG's burst or away from the backliners of Aurora. Yums in the front, Kite with a two-man taunt now onto Cram and Yums, but it's Cram popping in the pass, now goes in for the slam. Over on Kite, puts the stacks on him. Remember, he can go for the mount down on him. So that's a big problem. Black Dragon form already used. Turtle gonna be very, very low, but Cram pops in a pass again. Sky's gonna be zoned away by the Black Dragon form as Yums rotates over. Appraiser's Wrath with Retribution secures the Turtle. But it seems SRG don't even want to fight.
That's quite interesting that they didn't want to. I guess they just didn't have the favored position that they wanted, because they definitely could have started the fight, but they end up giving over that Turtle, essentially allowing Aurora Gaming Philippines to buy a little more time. The purple buff is up. Yums is there providing that information, but you'll actually be able to secure this one. Kite getting a little bit more tanky. Now Glorious Pathway dropped down. They're going to chase down Stormy.
No flicker earlier. The peel coming through, but Stormy's going to be gunned down by Yue. And now it's Cram looking for the play onto Light. Not going to happen. Innocent in the bottom lane.
Okay. Right now, Aurora Gaming Philippines is choosing these little ones across the map, giving Kite some confidence to go ahead and start invading this side of the jungle if he can, forcing Sakai's back. It looks like they go for it. Yums in trouble, can't get away, it's too much. Crowd control, and there you go, a kill going to Kite.
Big stack. It's just 10, but it's a build right now for Aurora. It's a slow build for them. If they can constantly get these small wins, it will build up. That 10 stacks will help him execute even more, and the gold lead now is back to 1,000 between the gold laners, despite the fact that Innocent was sent down below to soak in as much farm as possible.
Yeah, oh man. You can see this too. It just, the way that things started for SRG is not the case anymore. Aurora Gaming Philippines really itemized for that. They now have got a couple of defensive magic items as well. Aegis over here for Edward. He's dealt with the brunt of the early game struggles, so he's going to be able to survive some of that damage from Stormy, and then also you have the Radiant Armor now for Kite too. So, and a Malefic Roar over for Kite. So that's why his damage is starting to be felt by those front lines, especially when Yums tries to set things up, or Cram, for example. So it's a good adjustment for Aurora Gaming. They still have a lot to cover. Wow, look at what? This is what I'm talking about, man. After that Malefic Roar was picked up, even Cram has to be a little careful in how he approaches this.
Yeah, okay, so Cram only has the Cursed Helmet and the Brute Force Breastplate, so now we understand why it's doing so much damage. There's literally only a Brute Force Breastplate with, again, minimal physical defense versus the Malefic Roar of the Granger. Kite in this position. Divine Blade picked up, though, for Stormy.
Okay, Lord's up here, half health right now. Cram making his way as well. SRG in full force. Traction Pulse.
Only onto Cram. Slam, pass. And for the airstrike coming down to the UA right there, but he's able to escape. Now as the sun comes in, and Domeng is able to get the shot down. Petrifying the Fierce Dive now. As Sky's going to be able to get the peel from Yums. He's able to go for the Traces now as Innocent jumps around with his Amon Force on Light.
Oh, Light's going to be in trouble. He's trying to get away with the rest of the team. They're so low here, but Cram leading the charge. Does Yum go forward? No. They trade it out again. As Stormy went down, Lord secured though by Aurora Gaming Philippines, and another stack to Kite.
I've never seen a Dragon go 0-3 and be this useful, bro. Edward is having an amazing performance despite the early deaths. Yes, it looks bad in KD, but over the course of the last 3 team fights, he's been more useful than Cram on the glue, which is surprising.
That is the nature of XP laners. Glorious Pathway dropped down. Okay, Kite won't catch him with the Energy Eruption, but As I was saying, man, the XP laners, that's their job. I feel like they are the ones getting pushed around, beat up a lot in these matches, but still the use of them is really what it comes down to. So even if you have a rough start, you can still be quite useful for a team. This Lord's going to go ahead and charge in up top. A good check with that feathered airstrike. So that turret actually might not go down unless that... Okay, that Lord doesn't get that last swing in. So not too much off the Lord. But what it does do, essentially, is allow Aurora Gaming this window. They might even just go for a tier 1 turret as they do. They know they don't want to take these fights just yet. It's more so about opening the map, getting that real estate to move around the map.
3 turrets left and right. Aurora Gaming Philippines really punishing Selangor Red Giants for, I would say, hesitating a couple of times during the turtle fights. Again, not wanting to go in, not wanting to take the risk, wanting to build on their lead further instead. And it has only given Aurora more time to scale up. With a Granger and a Kimmy, that's a problem. And again, SRG, even if Cram goes for the Mountdown now, they don't actually have enough damage to burst through the Fredrin.
This is why the power spikes are always so important. Oh, whoa.
Skies? What? Walks up alone and he gets caught for it. Everything used. Fury side petrify a taunt as well. What was... Did he just get the wrong info? Why was Skies there?
I don't know if he just didn't have the info. Yeah, he went in getting caught blind here. He's going to lose his purple buff.
Oh my god. Still able to get out with his Amon Force, but that's a big ultimate burn down as Cram goes in over on Demon Kai, but there's again not enough damage to take the Fredrin down, and Edward is now picking up turrets on the right. Tier 2 falling for free.
Being useful as can be. He also has a chastised pauldron now too. So he's got his grounds covered a little bit. Little feathered airstrike drop down. They want this tier 2 turret.
Get cancelled by Light on the feather airstrike in the bottom lane. It's a 1v1 between the XP laners, but again, in the mid lane, it is a free turret to Aurora. They just keep on getting these freebies.
Mirko, it's surgical is what Aurora Gaming Philippines is doing. They knew they had to play from behind, especially in the early game. They've made the adjustments up to this point. They put themselves in a very good position to go ahead and take this Lord and start marching towards a potential Game 5. It's still early. SRG can still turn a fight around. They have everything they need. You can see the positioning here. It's all about that target acquisition. Light's going to go ahead and spot them out, so that's not going to happen for SRG. The fight for the space around the Lord is going to break out here. Half health right now for this Lord.
Stormy is still in the mid lane, though. He's trying to deal with the wave in the bottom lane, but I feel like that wave is going to push back anyways.
What's going to do here?
Right, so yeah, he ends up just having to rotate, but it's going to be late. Gives with the wave of the dragon, locking him down. Skies goes in, but a Petrify locks him out, and one! Steals the Lord! And he goes on Skies now. He's able to get the Rose Gold in time, but Edward wants the 1v1, and Skies? Traceless isn't forward. Yu is going to go for the chase, and Skies, he's trapped all alone against 3. It'll be Edward who walks up, and he gets the kill onto Skies.
Skies goes down, Yooms as well, and Edward secures the Lord. And now Aurora Gaming Philippines, with a massive swing in favor, will head to the base of SRG. They still have a great defense, but can they keep it together?
Let's see, the feather airstrike coming down on UA. He's able to flick around on the glorious pathway as Light gets mounted down and brought back into the crystal, but Innocent's holding it.
And they go, Light in trouble, Palm the Revitalize, they still have to fight.
Innocent.
Yooms is back up.
Innocent doing so much damage, Light's gonna be taken down. Cram again now, solo, Dome, looking for a shot, can't find the last one, Yooms. G-Kundo forward. Selangor Red Giants defend their base, but it costed them 2 big structures.
It was messy and bloody, but still SRG will stay in this game. They lost a lot of the base turrets, holding on to just 1. But Aurora Gaming Philippines just showing, you know, if they want to go for a fight, they're able to go ahead and take it. If they want to find the round, the objectives now, they can take that as well. More physical defense here for Demon Kite. He's been nearly unkillable. Yeah, he lost some of his jungle in the early game, but there's been no answer to deal with Demon Kite. Edward as well, he's got defensive items enough now to just kind of throw himself forward, and that is all allowing Kite. Dome Kite in space. Oh, there's the energy eruption.
Oh no, Cram's gonna be left all alone. He pops in a pass and flickers out. That means it's 2 battle spells, Naisu.
Yeah.
Down.
2 battle spells out of the equation right now. Now they still have plenty of time before that Lord comes up, so those battle spells should be available, but the cooldowns on the ultimates are going to come up faster. You can count on Aurora Gaming Philippines to try to potentially get a pick off. You can see the difference here between the lanes. A Holy Crystal now online and available for UA. So he is going to hurt even more. But look at the difference in the gold lane. Innocent has definitely struggled on this Harith pick in being able to be utilized with the fights. Mostly dropping down the Zaman Force in these fights, trying to turn the tide, but it just seems like a big portion of the damage has been pretty much handled with defensive items. Humes providing that vision on light. Just going to check things out. They want to go ahead and take this purple buff.
And the control is gone for Selangor Red Giants. It's Aurora Gaming Philippines who are occupying the map. The map's blue. The 16-minute mark of game number 4. From the start, it really looked like, okay, it was going to be Selangor Red Giants' game for sure, right? A level 1 orange buff take. Oh, another airstrike onto Domeng. Now Sky's going to go for the chase as well. An instant flicker from Domeng. He saw the invisible Cho, and he reacted. Now that's an even bigger spell to lose out before a Lord fight. Your main man.
Oh, man, that's actually big to not have that flicker available. And you can't just wait a minute and a half for it to be back up.
Nope.
So now Domenkite, they're going to be pressured into this fight. Once again, where's Yumes and Sakai's going to go here? Light is also on this part of the map.
Stormy.
Stormy going to get caught here. He's going to, oh, is Light going to actually go for the sun?
He's going to go for the sun. Where does Stormy go? He's able to flicker out, but again, that's what they were looking for. They were only just trying to look for the flicker. It was just a feint. It was a threat right there.
They're like, Domenkite doesn't have his, now Stormy doesn't have his flicker.
Yes, sir.
It's fine.
Now it's level.
All right, now though, Lord still up, half health. Demonkite holding it up alongside Krem. What are they going to do here? Stormy as well, joining the fight. Sakai's still off on the wings in the mid lane. They're going to have to force something here.
Black Dragon form as well. Demonkite still holding on to the Lord. This looks really, really good. And again, the zoning coming in from Edward as he jumps in with the Petrify as well. It's an all-in over the skies as Krem's able to survive, and he goes in for the meltdown.
Edward gets kicked, but he goes to the back line.
Edward will fall. That's Yumes on the G Kundo, and the Feather Air's trying to follow it through Yumes. Able to flicker around. Light Pop, Cinder, Revitalize. And Aurora got what they sought out for. They got the Lord.
As I said, both XP laters are the punching bags for the teams here, as is. They both go down, they're both traded out, but Aurora Gaming Philippines gets the advantage. Lord making its way down that mid lane as Yumes takes the flying cloud, and now SRG on the defense. Can they clear this out once more?
Man, that traction pulse force Innocent to go for the Zaman Force, and now it's going to be big again. Innocent going to be caught in the taunt, has to purify out of it. The mobilization used as well. Yumes in the back line, able to go for the amount of shocker landing on Light. Yumes cancel out by the taunt of Demonkite, and a big bomb with the Appraiser's Wrath to shut him down.
A great attempt from Yumes to make something happen, but it still does allow SRG into the game, and they haven't lost the last base turret just yet. Can they clear this out still? Aurora Gaming Philippines might still look to punch it in.
The pace is down to half HP. Skies' Rose Gold Meteor gets procced by Domenkite on the Granger. And now that he has Flicker, I don't think Selangor Red Giants can get to him, dude.
Ooh, Domenkite has all the space in the world to work with too, man. I gotta say, Aurora Gaming Philippines has done a great job at providing that space and protecting and peeling for Domenkite. This is now and has been a game of resources, right? The battle spells, the ultimates on both sides, but SRG is still showing that even at this point, almost 20 minutes into this game 4, that there's still potential for them to turn around these team fights. It's more so not having all those battle spells down or those ultimates used too early on. This purple buff is going to be taken over. Sakai knows that he's not going to see this for a while, so it's more so of just what can they get? What can they get around the map? How can they continue to build up? Nearly item locked over on both sides. Still working on some of those last items, but man, you gotta respect what SRG's lineup is still capable of doing here.
Immortality for Yumes, so he wants to go for more of those plays, but this time he's just like, even if I don't get it, I want to bait more resources. I want to make Aurora Gaming Philippines think a bit more. And again, for Aurora Gaming Philippines right now, the advantage that they got, the turret up top, it's so unfortunate that the Lord has spawned the top twice now. So again, they can't really utilize the far lane. Selangor Red Giants can still clear it out. It's just Stormy needs to be decisive, brother.
Yeah.
Last time, he went bottom lane, even though it was going to push back to Aurora Gaming Philippines, and that's why Aurora punished instantly.
And I mean, look at this, like, almost expect Aurora to potentially try to catch Stormy, or if it just means another flicker being used. Because obviously with this Lord being evolved, it's going to take a little bit longer for this dance to kind of break out here, but Aurora is going to get in position. and SRG will go ahead and clear out that bottom wave. They got to manage these waves and get ready to fight. A Divine Glaive picked up for Cram here. Nearly half health on the Lord. Once again, very similar positioning.
8-3-4 stacks.
8-3-4 stacks for Dome and Kite right now.
Yeah, those bullets are not going to run out, man.
Whoa.
Oh my god, he gets away the dragon! Straight into the mountain chugger, Skies! What a timing by Skies!
Dome and Kite is gone, and the fight still breaks out. Stormy falls too!
Innocent still able to survive right now. UA goes in, and it's going to be Demon Kite going up over on Yums. Going for the stab, and Yums will fall on the Demon Kite!
And they're still going. Cram separated from the team on the run, and Aurora's going to hunt him down.
Prime, can he run? He takes a turret shot. UA is getting him down, and it will be a slow, painful death, and he falls in the end. Skies in the mid lane trying to save this game. He clears out the wave. What do Aurora do? They see a wave up top.
They've got a wave up top to walk in, and Sakai's is left alone for a little bit longer. Aurora, can they end it here?
Mountain Shocker coming down, Light unable to get the stun. UA in the mid lane already clearing it out, but there's a big wave up top that's going to be used. No glorious pathway. Skies able to trace this away. Pops in Mountain Shocker. Now again, it's going to be Sky. Chase CC down. He buys the immortality, but the base is wide open. And Aurora Gaming Philippines will take us to a game 5.
We wouldn't have it any other way. For a spot in the grand finals of the M7 World Championship. We need 5 games, we get 5 games.
Oh my God. The road to make it to the grand finals will not be an easy road. Both of them. This is a bloodbath. It's a slugfest, and it's exactly what we wanted for an upper bracket finals. Again, brother man, Edward on this Yu-Zong. 0-3-0 start.
I ain't hear no bell. That's basically what he said, man.
There was no towel, there was no bell. He kept on going.
That's what you gotta do, all the XP laners out there.
How do they win this with Domain completely dead? Look at him.
Yeah.
He got shot, that was perfect timing from Skies.
Perfect attempt and pickoff.
Oh my.
You take out Dome and Kite, but this fight still doesn't go their way. I mean, just phenomenal team fighting from Aurora Philippines here to make this work. And it really tough for SRG because they started the game strong. They started off on the right foot, but then it all just kind of fell apart, man. I know it was a really decisive and disciplined way that Aurora approached this to turn things around. So just again, very solid game 4 we got there. We're gonna throw it over to the panel to break down our game 4.
We are going to a game number 5! Aurora pushed the envelope. That man leading the charge suffered 2-3 deaths, multiple losses early on, but miraculously getting the Lord, holding on as a team, playing for Dom and Kite, means that all of the efforts of SRG to piss off Edward was just wasted away.
Not just piss off, but turn off Edward J in the Padap. Mr. Consistent, only the second player in all of M7, according to stats, to have broken the Uomi 2 deaths under 5 minutes rule. Usually whenever a Yu-Zhong is beaten down this hard, suffering 2 or more deaths before the second turtle, usually it's game over. But here, again, the question stands, how did Aurora come back from that? Well, the devil's in the details.
The devil is in the details. I mean, when we get to the item build, I think we got a lot to talk about there. But for the most part of things, it's really just maintaining control and composure. But there was a lot of weird motions. I don't know about you guys. Number one, we saw that Aurora playing a pretty standard game. But do you feel like SRG kind of just let a lot of things go?
Yep.
First Lord, let it go. Torrents, let it go. First, whatever. We'll give whatever is necessary. And Sakai's, by the time he got his 3rd item, that's when they finally started to participate. Felt really awkward.
In addition to just letting things go, I think they let themselves go.
Yes.
How early was it that Stormy down bottom was just wanton throwing out these flickers and trying to kill Edward over and over again, despite the man already being down with nothing but the clothes on his back, and it led to nothing.
If I'm innocent, I'm honestly going to be quite annoyed here. It's like, all of the motions of SRG, yes, it was to turn off that Yu-Zhong. which was, in the bigger picture, going to be very problematic to deal with when it comes to the team fights. But then it got to the point of like, yo, aren't you guys forgetting you have a gold laner you're supposed to help out? It was getting kind of like, why? Why keep continuously going for Edward? You've won the lane. Sure, they broke 2 towers, but then Innocent lost lane because of the overcommitment of SRG, because Aurora said, sorry, Edward, you're going to have to like eat that for a while. We're going to help out our gold laner. Edward, back in the corner, is like, all right, sure, let me try. And he did. And he got that first Lord somehow, too. That was like the perfect ironic punch to the gut to everything that happened in that game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because again, it's when you are that Yuzong, especially for EXP laners, you're targeting junglers when you're fighting for those neutral objectives. And I think that on this Yuzong, and funny enough, a lot of chain of bad reactions happened for Sakai's just because of that. Oh, Black Dragon form nudged me into the knockup, which followed up by the Furious Life on top of the Petrify, so things could have not gone worse for him.
And none of these things go, even if you beat down on the Yuzong ad nauseum. Even if the Yuzong was at 0, 8, and 2, it could still do that to a Yusen Shin 20 minutes into the game. So I think that's one of the things that Edward held on to. And just like one of our favorite comic book characters, Batman, he said, I can do this all day. And I think that's why he deserves to be MVP. I don't know if he's going to get it. We're about to find out. Indeed he does!
1, 4, and 7. Everything that he suffered, but him miraculously getting that Lord and then eventually leading the charge for Aurora. This tactic of SRG would have worked if they were up against an assassin in the jungle. But now they're up against a Fredrin. And even if you take out that Yuzong, you have that Fredrin you ignored.
They got to stop giving them the utility junglers, because right now, Demon Guy is just making sure, you know what, not only am I facilitating the fight, I am pumping up 2-for-1s time and time again. Energy eruptions that's landing not only on towards Harith, but also manages to get Sakai's at the same time. Like, how many times can he keep reproducing it? And the answer is, an infinite number of times. He's done it so consistently to the point where I think it just deserves a ban. It is not worth letting go.
Yeah, that, or just in general, the realm of utility junglers. You don't want to face Aurora when they are in an atmosphere where they've thrived. This is still the DNA of former world champions Blacklist International running through their veins. Edward was a part of that lineup. Demon Kite fought through the time wherein they were in the shadow of the M3 World Champions. So they know what it's like to be this oppressive. And talking about oppression, that Yusen Shin could not play. Despite them having a great start, this is one of them. Oh my god. 10 minutes in, Sakai's hasn't died. That doesn't tell you the story of how hard it was for him to secure anything.
More so, why did they take the fight there? Why did Stormy decide to release the feathered airstrikes, watching Edward walk by through the river as if he didn't have his ult? And then a couple of other moments like this where, yes, you do get kicked. Yes, Edward is taking a lot of damage. But then notice the back line, right? Kite's still alive with his flicker. They can set the boundaries as the anchor continues to move forward time and time again.
All right, hammers up real quick. With what they did in the early game and with what they forgot, was this just straight up disrespect by SRG? They were thinking, we already want this, let's just play around maybe just a little bit.
Easily. A lot of weird motion. I mean, even me and Leo were talking about this in the middle of the game. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, very un-SRG. We were mentioning how some moments last night between Aurora Turquía and SRG were non-SRG moments. This might be the biggest one of them all. They let go in the early game. They played dirty MLBB with no rhyme or reason. And I'm hoping that this does not get rid of their mental constitution. I'm hoping that they don't beat themselves up hard for this, because I could have sworn that the first, 3 minutes of this game, we were going to see Malaysia in the Grand Finals for the first time in the M Series.
Yeah, again, to tell the story of what happened early on. Yeah, they got a lot of kills onto Edward. They started it off also with a beautiful steal on the orange buff of Demon Kite by Sakai's. And then it seemed like, okay, there's going to be no room of recovery here. But then Aurora doubled down on, hey, they keep going to the bottom lane. Let's just farm the opposite side. Let's get our orange buffs through the buffs of Sakai's in the orange side that they're not getting. I also really like the itemization of Edward here. I'm not really sure if he got to complete that War Axe. he never left the Ogre Axe. He went into the Fury Hammer, Hunter Strike, built the Pauldrons to help deal with the attack speed of Innocent and of course Sakai's, and then he gets his Spell Vamp through the Queen's Wings.
And then we look on over to the opposite side. What are those items from Cram? This is like a public rank game build that we see time and time again, and the only thing that he's missing is a Flame Shot instead of Flicker.
Yeah, that is the first taunt that came in even before the Divine Glaive. The Glowing Wand alone, the fact that you allotted that much economy when you were losing consistently for 10 minutes now, you still decided to do that. I'm hoping that it's a team decision. I'm hoping that he ran this through the squad saying, yo, I'm gonna go this way, all right? I'm gonna try to play a quote-unquote assassin glue. Let's see if this works out. He went in too deep. He went and built the Divine Glaive too.
As one of those RG players, yeah, sorry, I'm one of those guys. Let me add a little bit more of a thought of what Cram is thinking here. In the team fighting, your job is to jump on the Fredrin. Divine Glaive, Glowing Wand, happy to help take down that Fredrin's health a little bit more. But only if the rest of the team focus on the Fredrin. The rest of the team want to focus on Domikite because that's who Yooms is looking for. Yes, he got a lot of kicks on the Demon Kite to delay his take, but where's the rest of the damage going to? It's going to Yua, it's going to Domikite, meaning that those items that Cram built, Demon Kite's just like, alright, thanks for the faster charge and my Appraiser's Wrath, I guess. Bonk onto you.
So the growing theory is he communicated it, but not completely.
Guys, I'll take out the Fredrin. Okay, says the rest of SRG, and this is what we're left with. Personally, for me, I don't deny that there is a little bit of logic, but it's very counterintuitive, right? Because yes, you want to get on top of people like Demon Kite, for an example, but with all of these items, you're not really going to kill him. If you're on anybody else, though, maybe you'll be able to chunk him out pretty hard, but for the most part, majority of the members from the side of Aurora will be running the Flicker in the first place.
So here's that gold curve, the story of how the economy swung so clearly towards Aurora. This is heartbreaking because for what? Apparently not just the first 3 or 4 minutes, for like 8 minutes, up to about 8 minutes, SRG was in control. It was that slow of a burn, and then suddenly the turn, and then too little too late.
Let's also notice that in terms of the gold curve, right, the maximum and as well as the lowest, the deficit wasn't too crazy. We never got to see 4K, we never got to see 5K, and of course, obviously the big old 10K where the game's basically over, but it really just goes to show that Aurora is just more efficient with smaller leads in comparison to SRG, who are waiting for clear timings rather than playing as adaptive as they usually do.
If SRG played to their conditions and they were satisfied with the first tower break and already Edwards